welcome to Whiskey Cinema. Today we'll be talking about serial killers. Let's get the show started. Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Cinema. I'm your host, Dano. With me as always is Brandon Rich. We're going to be talking about a little bit of serial killing today. First off, man, how you been? How's your week? What's new?
I went and saw the new Venom movie.
Okay, what'd you think?
Best part about it was the post-credit scene, ain't gonna lie.
I think everybody knows about it now. I think it's been pre-leaked.
Oh, so I can talk about it?
I think so.
They tease him being in the next Spider-Man movie when he turns on the TV, and there is Tom Holland as Peter Parker. And Venom starts licking the screen. And who can't relate to that, first of all? I mean, I've done it.
That guy.
Oh, my God. He's right, though. That guy.
Ooh, yeah.
How about you? I had some good sushi too, by the way. I know we talked about it before, but some good sushi.
Sushi is sushi for people that are in a hurry to say sushi. He's talking about sushi.
How about your week, man?
Dude, good week. I saw the new James Bond movie. It was bad, but it's got really good reviews. Halloween just came out. Halloween Kills or whatever, Revenge something. And
I saw that.
You saw it? Okay, what'd you think?
I did.
Go.
It's good. Okay, it is a good movie, but there are times where it's just a little bit corny. So they say, I think they say in the trailer too, evil dies tonight.
Right.
Yeah, they say that about 80 times. And after the movie was over, I looked at my wife and I was like, I swear to God, if they said that line anymore, I would have killed them. Overall, I mean, predictable ending. Good movie, though. Not bad. It's not the best movie. A little disappointing, but.
I was going to say, do you say it's as good as the one that just came out or no?
No.
The one that came out like 2 years ago?
No. Yeah, that one's way better. I mean, it's not the worst Halloween movie. It's not the best Halloween movie. It's not even the worst slasher movie. But it did its job. It keeps me in the mood of Halloween. Just like this podcast. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm good. Keep going, bro. Help me out here.
Well, it was, but now your screen's all black.
I'm having a power outage.
Perfect. That's how we like to watch you anyway. With there you go. Power outage.
Come on, man. Don't be that way.
All the time. So you didn't like? Do you like any of the other James Bond movies though?
I mean, the only problem is like to me they're just so formulaic, right? So this one had a kind of a twist ending, but fuck, man, they should there's a reason in the trailer they show the same scene because it's so slow for a James Bond movie. But something you'll like about James Bond in this movie, there's not a drink in his hand. It's like watching Archer. Like there's a scene where he walks by a bar and drinks, and then before he gets to the other end of the bar, he kills the guy, then he has another drink. Maybe like 15 drinks in this movie. Like he just slamming them.
Daniel Craig really needed those drinks because he did not want to do this movie.
I don't blame him. I mean, if I was him, he's a good actor. You know, but how do you turn down like a $20 million paycheck?
Casino Royale was a great movie.
One. So good.
But I think that was the problem. They started off too strong. I like the other two. They're not bad movies. I haven't seen this one yet. I will. I'm like super pumped for it.
There's a neat kind of twist towards it. And it's fun, but literally probably, I'm going to say 40 minutes of that movie you could have gone without. Like, I was getting bored in a James Bond movie. I was like, why are they still doing this? This is so tedious. I don't give a fuck about any of this.
So who do you want to? Because they're gonna cast the new James Bond eventually. Who do you want to be the new James Bond?
A new James Bond.
I know
Shit. Well,
that
they're talking.
question was sprung on you.
Well, I was gonna say they said that they were gonna make it Idris Elba for a little bit,
I've heard
and
that.
I thought that would have been dope. But you know what I'd like, because you kind of need an older guy to play James Bond. You don't want like a 20-year-old. You kind of need a little bit older. So like I'm thinking, man, because you don't want Michael B. Jordan, even though he'd be great in it. He would be pretty good. Shoot, I'm not. Do you have a pick? I'm trying to think. I'm not sure.
I've seen a lot of Tom Hardy moving around when people talk about it. I get, but I don't love it. Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh,
He's
Tom
the one I
Hiddleston.
choose.
That's a good one.
And then I would choose Idris Elba too.
Fuck. He's got a Western, like an all-black Western movie coming out. Like, there's no white people in the Old West in this movie. And he's got one that looks pretty good, actually. Looks like a lot of Regina King's in it, and the guy that just played King the Conqueror in the Loki series. I can't remember his name. But
you're talking about. I love him in that Loki series.
yeah, but it looks good. So I'm like, yep, there you go, man. Keep fucking hitting out the park. Craziest name in the world.
Another person they had was I don't know how to say his name because it's French. It's either Reggie or I'm wrong. Jean Page from Bridgerton.
Oh, the girl in the new James Bond?
No, they want the guy from Bridgerton to be the new James Bond.
Oh.
Which completely makes sense. I did watch Bridgerton. I did think it was a good show. Yeah.
Dude, Squid Games just took over Bridgerton. Bridgerton was the most watched show in Netflix history, and Squid Games just beat it.
Oh, God. I think like 12 million streams. And I'm one of them, but I haven't finished it yet.
It was funny. I started playing it. I was with my brother. I was like, hey, let's watch. I got a show I want to watch with you. And he's just like, I'm not watching no subtitled shit. And I go, all right. And then I finished it without him. And he's like, hey, man, you want to watch Squid Games? We're going to start it tonight. I go fuck yourself. I tried to get you to watch that shit a week ago.
I tried to get my wife to watch it. She's like, I don't like subtitles. I was like, okay, that's fair.
No,
I turned on, like, it's dubbed. She's like, that's almost worse. Jesus. I was like, yeah, it's not great. It's not great dubbing, to be honest.
So funny. Yeah, the first episode, you're hooked, though. I mean, if you finish the first episode, you're hooked.
I didn't even know I was on the second episode. I was like, fuck, how long have I been watching this? I have plans.
Mr. Beast, who's a internet personality, if you know him, he's doing a live-action version of the Squid Games, hopefully without the death. And he's auditioning for people to come play with him. I think in LA, he's gonna fly him out, and you can win like $100,000 or something.
Yeah, I guess I have no plans.
Sure.
You doing it?
Yeah, let's go. Whiskey Cinema represent.
Right.
Well, let's get into our topic, man. Serial killer movies, which is a wide variety. I mean, I've got the Jason mask down here. I got my machete. We're not talking just slashers, but I thought we were talking about, serial killers over a whole. Mostly these are just people that have normal lives. Like, I don't want a guy with a pig mask, especially, but I'm not mad if you have the guy with a pig mask. That's not terrible either. But I like to think the guys have like a day job sometimes,
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you won't like my best then.
It's all right. Well,
Just
plus with shows like Dexter that's coming out that just got renewed for a new season. Michael C. Hall, which I don't know if he's a serial killer. I know he's kind of that way, but not really. Actually, maybe he is. Yeah. There's a bunch of shows like that, and I wanted to mention a bunch of good shows of it. But one, if you have not seen, which I highly recommend, is Mindhunters, which is not a real biographical thing, but it tells the real story based on a true story about the guys that first started interviewing serial killers to learn about them, like where Silence of the Lambs kind of started. God, that was good. That was a good show. They got 2 seasons of it, and it's just really well done. I really like it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. It's been on my watch list for a while.
It's a good one.
But I have seen You, and I think that they just released a new season Friday.
God, the second season, there's a scene where a guy, I think, cuts his finger off. Spoiler. And because he owes him money. And that scene was really good. Like, he just kept saying, hey, remain calm, remain calm. Cut his finger off. You're okay. what you need to do is take this down. There's a good surgeon down here. Ice it and get it sewn back on and make sure you get my money next time, okay? Really, like, his demeanor was like a cashier at a grocer.
Dude, that's one of the best things when you have that mob guy who's brutal as fuck, but then it's just like so calm about it. It's like, hey, you're gonna be all right. Pain's just kicking in. You're gonna go into shock soon. You won't even feel it.
Dude, it's scary. I just started watching this.
Like you, just so we all know, I like that show. I think it's Dexter Light.
Yeah, I think so too. The self monologue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
And I love Dexter up until season 6. Fuck that show after.
I think Michael C. Hall felt the same way. I remember him leaving the country.
I read that a quote from his that he was happy that they're doing this because he knows it left a sour taste in everybody's mouth when that season ended or that series ended. And even it's not just including fans, it's including people who made it too. I'm like, then why do it? You guys let me down more than any other show, you fucks.
I'm gonna have to catch up on it because I think I stopped after like season 4 or something. But I always liked just a neat idea, really well done.
So season 4 is fantastic with John Lithgow.
Oh yeah, Trinity Killer.
Fucking that to me is some of the best acting. That charisma, or not charisma, the connection they have in that show.
Yeah,
Michael C. Hall and Lithgow, it's fucking perfect. Season 5, I still really like that season too.
There's a season or not season. There's a scene where he's at the dinner table and his kind of monster is kind of coming through, John Lithgow, and we'll say what you're grateful for. And his son goes, "I'm not grateful for you. I've never been grateful for you." And the wife goes, "This is really good spaghetti." Like tries to change the subject. And he goes, "Shut up, cunt. What did you say?" And I was just like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
And Dexter was like this, like, "Whoa, easy. Take it easy there." I remember thinking like, "Here we go."
I always tell everybody to at least watch season 4 of Dexter.
So good.
Almost a flawless season. There's
really good.
I don't like about that season. It's that old dude and the young lady romance.
Let's get into some of our underrated and overrated serial killer movies, man. There's a wide plethora of this, but I'm curious. I want to know for underrated, for movies that people should give a whirl if they haven't. What do you have as your underrated movie?
All right, for underrated, I put Hush there. I've already talked about it a lot, but I ain't gonna go again without talking about it because it counts for this. He has a mask, and he's like, "You know what? Danny won't like this mask on me the whole movie. I'm gonna take it off."
Thank you so much. It was perfect. Well, I would definitely say that guy's a serial killer too, personally.
Yeah. I think so. I wasn't sure. I didn't care. I'm still bringing it up.
Mm-hmm.
The Collector is another one I went for.
Yeah, that's a good
very graphic, violent, gory movie, right up my alley. About a guy who is doing some home invasion, sets traps everywhere in the house, and another guy's just trying to, make it out of life. There you go. That's the movie. It's good. It's Saw Light, I guess.
It's like Saw Light, yeah. The second one, I like the first one a lot, actually, even though it had definitely gory parts. But which sometimes too much gore is bad. But I thought it was right on the edge for me. That was fine. The second one got a little silly at points, but I liked it. I thought that was a good one. And keeping people in his chest, like that fucking treasure chest he had, and like keeping a person in there all the time, that was fucking creepy.
I don't get the point in that because you saw at the beginning of the movie he just released the person.
Yeah.
To death, and I'm like, well, then why keep him?
Why keep him? Yeah.
Nah, I don't care. I'm into this movie. It's one of those movies that you don't go in expecting a lot. So when a plot hole like that to me comes along, I'm just going to brush it aside because it's what I was expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just, you can't give. So I probably take things like that too seriously a lot of the time. Like I see plot holes and sometimes it bothers me, but you can't take that too seriously. It's a mistake.
No. Yeah. No. Can't. You can't do it.
Can't do it. I had Hush as an underrated one as well, but I knew we were going to talk about it. Another one that I liked is one that you brought up like a week ago, which was Voices with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Which is one that like you got to be in the right mood for sure, but it's definitely worth a watch. Like it's one of those kind of weird ones. But I wanted to bring up Voices because I don't think a lot of people have seen it, despite it being Ryan Reynolds. And the other one was what's that?
Anna Kendrick. Like, there's big names in that movie, but
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
well, because the material is pretty dark. But for people who like Squid Games, the main character from Squid Games is in my underrated. His name is Lee. I had to write it down. Lee Byung-hun, and he's in I Saw the Devil, and it's a Korean movie. So you got a same idea as Squid Games. If you can't do dub and you can't do subtitles, I don't blame you for passing, but give it a shot because it is a great twist on a serial killer. A serial killer essentially kills this like whatever Korea's version of CIA is, kills his wife like pretty brutally, like cuts her head off. And this guy goes rogue essentially and finds the serial killer. And what he does is he beats the shit out of the guy, but he plants a tracker on him. And every once in a while, he goes back and fucking cripples the guy again. And the serial killer figures this out and lays a trap for him. It's a very good like dynamic and just a very different idea. It was awesome though, very good. And that killer, he's another big named actor that you believe it immediately that this guy is a menace. He plays the part to perfection. You're like, oh God, I don't like to see him on screen. He's pretty, I don't know what he's going to do. He's very, very terrifying. So, but yeah, I Saw the Devil. Definitely check that out if you're a fan of Squid Games or if you just want to try a good foreign film. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that one's on my list to watch. It's one of those movies I have to watch without the wife because she doesn't do dubs or subtitles. And I ain't ever got time to be alone. So that one, I like that choice because I want to watch it.
Give it a shot and let me know what you think. I remember I just watched it on a limb because I was on like a Korean film thing. And I saw one like called The Hound where it was a serial killer trained a wolf to kill people for him. Like in that one, they said, if you like this one, you might watch this one. And I go, oh, I'll try it. And in the first, you'll be hooked in the first 10 minutes if you're going to be hooked. It starts off with his wife stuck in the rain with her car broken down. And he walks up to help her. And she keeps saying, no, no, no. And finally, he persuades her to open up the door. And you just see this evil smile on his face. And he grabs her. And you're like, oh, shit.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out for you.
Appreciate it. Try it out, guys. Try it out, my dudes. What about overrated? What is an overrated?
You go first.
Okay, so for me, I had a couple that I wanted to do, and then I realized I don't really like them, and some of them are better than others. But I'll tell you one that I was stoked for, very, very excited for, and is on HBO Max, and it's called The Little Things. And this movie is very not good.
I'll find a new one.
Oh, is that what you had?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie, because Jared Leto and Denzel Washington, right? I mean,
and
match made in heaven.
Who's coming off the big Bohemian Rhapsody high.
I really like Rami Malek, but he was in the new Mission Impossible. And I was like,
or James Bond?
Or yeah, James Bond. And I was like, God, he seems wasted here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was a bad part or something. He just talks like this every time he addresses someone. How are you? You're too late. The bomb's going. I go, all right. You know, you're be better. Do something else. You're just talking slow. You're making the movie longer.
I don't think he has shown me enough where I'm like, yeah, I love this guy. He's good in Bohemian Rhapsody, obviously.
Great, yeah.
And Mr. Robot's good.
Really good, yeah.
There hasn't been another movie of his that I've like, fuck yeah, this guy.
I actually, in The Little Things, I would say he's probably the best part. Jared Leto plays as a weird guy, but I mean,
I would say Jared Leto's the best part. I'd say Malik's the worst part. Denzel Washington's there. You expect more from Denzel because he's fucking Denzel.
Right. I don't know if there's a bright spot of The Little Things, except because it was just no payoff. It's a lot of time that you spend watching this and a lot of plot threads they build up. and there's no conclusion that's worth it. And I had to put that as my overrated because I don't know what it got on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, but I was just like,
this analogy a lot. It was 7 light. Yeah, I agree. It's overrated. It was a letdown. I disagree when you say Rami Malek was the best part. It was Jared Leto.
I don't know. To me, they were all 4s. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not I don't think anybody's running away with an Oscar on that one.
No, if they are, they stole it from Leo.
Literally. But on that, I also had 7. Same premise.
Oh, you had 7 is overrated?
I went 7 because I don't remember off the top of my head what it's rated.
Wow.
But it was just a little too high for me. I do really like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But as much as I hate to say it, it is not Brad Pitt's best movie. It's not Morgan Freeman's best movie. The killer steals the show.
Kevin Spacey. I Touch Boys Spacey.
It's his movie. He's what makes it better. So to me, if it wasn't for Spacey, this movie wouldn't be as highly regarded.
That's funny. Yeah, he plays a great. I mean, see, I had it high on my list. I almost put it as my best, because I watch it all the time. Anytime it's on USA Today all the time. But him as a killer, killing people through the 7 Deadly Sins, which they've done a lot in movies.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
I thought was cool and interesting, and the writing in the car and the Brad Pitt scene at the end. So silly.
I'm not saying I hate the movie, because here's the weird thing. It was in my debate for number 1 as well. And then I kind of looked through more, and I was like, all right, I slid it down just a couple spots. I was like, maybe I don't think this movie is as good as everybody else.
That's so funny.
Austin's on the competition it was against. And Austin can go fuck himself. I said.
Yeah, Austin's commenting Kevin did carry it, though. You're objectively wrong. Okay, well, you did put an apostrophe.
Kevin carried that movie, and he had very little screen time, but he was so captivating with that 10 minutes or whatever it was, if that he was on the screen.
He was a good serial killer, and the part that always sticks in my mind is they open up like a notepad, and the guy read a random page, right? He said, very smart serial killers, right? That's kind of the staple. They're always very clever geniuses. They're never like a sicko who their mom pushed down the stairs when they're too young. And he had like a crazy saying of a woman on a train. He goes, look, and he flips through the pages and he opens up another random notebook. He's, look, there's pages and pages and pages of notebooks of this. He's like, it'll take years to read all this. And I remember thinking some intern had to scribble down nonsense for like 3 weeks just so you could have that 4-second scene.
Yeah, obviously.
And then I went and did this, and also I ate a peach today. God, how long did you do this for?
I've thought that too. It's just a lot of bullshit, but there's going to be a nerd out there who pauses it to read it, and then I actually said something, and I'm like, yeah, that was me. That was me.
I posted TikTok of it.
So, hey, good for them. I like little details like that panned out. But the little things was my number 1 overrated.
Yeah, that's a rough
another
one.
Reason 7 came up is because I found another overrated. On the fly.
How dare you?
I know. I felt a little dirty saying it, to be honest. Because I do really like that movie. And I think I've actually defended that movie towards you.
Well, there's definitely parts of it that are rough. But like I said, if you're talking serial killer movies and that's not the discussion, I don't even know what you're doing. Because I think it could be overblown. Like USA Today, it's like Con Air and The Rock. Like they just played it 100 times a month on USA Today.
You're not giving it good praise when you're comparing it to Con Air and The Rock.
Yeah,
I watched it Con Air, so
Well, let's take a quick break, brought to you by our sponsor, The Buzz. And we'll be right back talking about our favorite, least favorite, and some honorable mentions about serial killers. Teenagers had it coming, man. I love that post we shared with all the serial killers like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers. And it says they're sitting down at the table and it says, those teenagers had it coming, changed my mind.
Dude, it's true, though. To be fair, they did. Who has sex in a cornfield?
Studs, I mean, crows.
I would. Given the opportunity.
Sure.
Cornfield and fuck. I'd already be out there naked before she even finished that sentence.
So funny. Talking about serial killers, we talked about our overrated, underrated ones we want you to check out. We're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite. I got some honorable mentions that I got reminded of this week about different ones. People are like, it's a wide spectrum of serial killers, right? You don't know what movies we're talking about. One guy, I said, what's your favorite serial killer movie? And he goes, I really like Sweeney Todd. And I was like,
I got to bring that up.
I was like, that's true. Hey, that guy's a serial killer.
You fuck?
No way. No way.
It's one of my slashes.
Really? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, oh, God, that's true.
I thought about it.
One that I was pretty close on, too, like Bone Collector, which is an old one with Angelina Jolie. I always thought that was a good one. When you said Collector, it reminded me of it. She's in like 2 movies.
Angelina Jolie's movies on my list, too.
You have another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if look them.
Have you seen Ma with Olivia Spencer?
I haven't seen Ma. I like that one. That was a good one.
Dude, there's a scene. I don't know what it is. Everybody has like a weird triggering thing that like scares them, like really freaks them out. I didn't think I had one until I saw her sewing that girl's mouth shut when she was like passed out on drugs. And I was like, oh,
my boner.
Come on, man. Well, I mean, you found your kink. There's probably a channel for that on Pornhub somewhere.
Yeah, my kink's a woman who keeps her mouth shut.
Oh, well, your expectations are ridiculous. There's not a channel for that. I thought you meant sewing people's faces.
Oh, well, to be fair, that was my joke originally, but then I decided to change on a dime.
Have you seen the movie called The Guest?
The Guest. Which one's that?
So The Guest, gosh, what's the guy's name? Dan Stevens. He's also the psychic guy from X-Men series on Hulu, who plays like the psychic. Legion. So Dan Stevens, he plays a guy that essentially goes in and assimilates this other person's life and then goes and visits a family saying, hey, I'm like related to you. You just don't recognize me kind of thing. Or no, he says he's the guy's best friend, but he goes back there, but he's a good serial killer in this. He's very scary. You don't really understand where his morals are and how he feels. But that was one I just watched on a whim and I rewatched it for this podcast. And I was like, man, that's good. It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Netflix or Prime.
I've seen it somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere for free.
I'm a big fan of Dan Stevens, so I want to see more stuff of his. He's really good in Legion, and he was really good in this one.
You don't know. You don't know Dan Stevens.
Come on. Hate him. No.
I'm gonna say another honorable mention. I don't think it'll be your number one.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna take a risk anyway. It's Zodiac.
That's my best.
I thought so.
What do you mean you thought so?
Yeah, now you know how it feels. Find your slash, you fuck. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
My worst is Taking Lives.
Ooh, Taking Lives. That's that other one.
Yeah. I got a little nervous. I wasn't sure if I confused them because they're both shit.
That's where she pretends she's pregnant to lure him in for like a year. She does this thing to try to lure him in just so he'll come and she can kill him.
I don't like it. I watched it as a kid, and I was a kid who loved scary shit because, fuck yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like it then. So I tried to watch it as an adult, and I thought, meh, no thank you. This sucks.
It's, it's very The Rock to me. It's very you watch when you're homesick.
Dude,
no one rents it.
Not even that. Like if it's on, I'm changing the channel.
It's so funny.
If there's nothing else on, I'm watching Judge Judy.
Fucking Judge Judy.
I love Judge Judy. Judge Joe Brown.
Dude, she's making bank too. She makes more money than LeBron James. She makes like $200 million a year.
And she cries less too.
Well, we don't know about her personal life.
Well, that's fair. The Rock is a great movie. The Rock is a greatly entertaining movie.
Welcome to The Rock. It's a Nicolas Cage movie. A lot of his movies are basically the same.
But I'm always like, fuck yeah, let's watch The Rock. I haven't seen that since the last time I was sick.
That's right.
It's fine.
My worst movie that I have on here is one that I begrudgingly watched. I told you about. Me and you have a good argument about Michael Fassbender, and it's a good debate. I think he's better than the movies he's in, and you think he's shitty. And
I just don't think he does good movies, and everybody's still riding his cock like he's fucking Michael Jordan out there.
You're right, because I have no argument for him today. The worst one that I can think of in my head is The Snowman.
I started watching that one. I never finished it.
It's so boring. It's amazing that you could take a movie about a serial killer, instinctually an exciting topic, and it's so boring and dumb, and they follow different people on the force and family members and stuff. You're like, what are we doing? This is so boring. So to me, that was the worst one. I like Michael Fassbender. I think he's good, but this movie does not help my case. Like, this is evidence A for you that he's...
Maybe Michael Fassbender should be the next James Bond.
Yeah, I'm down.
I've seen that one brought up a little bit. Like I said, I don't love him because he hasn't wowed me. He's good in the X-Men movies. He's good in the X-Men movie. The only good.
How about James McAvoy as the next James Bond? That'd probably be my choice. I really like him.
I can see that one as well. Yeah. I don't know if he'd choose that role. He chooses weirder roles now that he has expanded his acting since Split.
Yeah.
Like Wanted and stuff. Like, that's just normalized role. And he did Split. He's like, yeah, I'm done with those normal roles. Fuck that.
Who doesn't want to hit Chris Pratt in the face with a keyboard? You know what I mean?
That spells fuck you.
Yeah, like with that and his teeth.
Judge Judy for James Bond, 007. They want a woman to play it anyway. She's perfect. That's a stone cold bitch right there.
I'll say I believe her. You know, maybe as a villain.
Maybe that woman's a hero. She's a national treasure. You're going for villain? For fucking villain? Fuck you.
Can you imagine there's a button like for the laser to kill James Bond and she hits it with a gavel? I'd be like, yeah!
I was going to say, her weapon's going to be a giant gavel.
I judge you to die, Mr. Bond winks at the camera. We're like, yay!
I love it.
Another honorable mention I wanted to put up here because me and you were a fan of it. The first idea, we think they should have done better, but they keep making movies. Is The Purge. The Purge to me is kind of a serial killer movie because I doubt everyone's taking a break the rest of the year. Like, if you go out and you carve people up, I really don't think you're taking a break. Like, I think those guys have hobbies that include more maths than not maths.
I'm not going to agree that this is in contention for worst.
No, not for worst. Just an honorable mention of a serial killer movie.
Yeah, I like him. I didn't think of it at all because it's like thousands of people just murdering thousands of people.
It's true. I don't know if it counts.
And I thought, if anything, we count the first one, but then I was like, that's strangers. The first one's just strangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I don't like the first one, and I've seen them all. It's my least favorite still.
Really? Gosh, see, not that the first one was good. Ethan Hawke. Oh, speaking of Ethan Hawke, he has a trailer out called Black Telephone where he abducts a kid, and he's the serial killer. Trailer came out yesterday, and the premise of it is he kidnaps a kid, puts him in a basement, and there's a telephone on the wall that doesn't work, but all of his previous victims keep ringing and trying to help the kid out of this basement with different tips and ideas on how to get out. That didn't work for them, but they're like, I got this far, and then I almost made it out. So it's a neat idea, and Ethan Hawke looks terrifying in this. He's really gross and he's creepy. I mean, just watch the trailer.
I'll have to watch. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I've heard of it. I've seen the poster. I haven't heard And then the reason the first Purge is my least favorite is because it let me down so much because it is just The Strangers, which I have written down here, not for any category.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe overrated. I'd put that overrated before I did 7, I guess. But it is. They're like, oh, we have this thing called the Purge where crime is free. Oh, it's purge time. And then you focus on a dude in his house with his family. And I'm like, cool. You have this great fucking concept and you're shit in the bed doing Strangers. Go fuck yourself.
I love the idea of I tried to kill you, but it was on Purge Day, so we're cool. And then you go back to the office and you're like, hey, Becky, how's it going? And she just gives you a look. And you're like, you better fucking be cool, Becky, because another Purge Day is here in 364 days. So don't bring it up.
They could do a comedy movie about that. Like, you just started off in Purge Day and people are just trying to murder everybody from their work, and like 5 of them survive. And it's just awkward at the office the next day.
Dude, it'd be so funny. Maybe we'll do that as a skit for TikTok or something, because that would be hilarious. They're like, hey, can you hand me the stapler? You're like, I don't know. Could you not have a sniper rifle next year aimed at my fucking house?
Hey, here you go, John. By the way, what was that with the whole fucking machete thing? Jesus, that was... Seriously?
Did you make that mask?
Becky from HR.
That's why later, like when a guy has a guillotine, I'm like, dude, you're too excited. Like that took a long time to make that. You had to like Google physics to see how to drop the blade well, and
you gotta like I'm sure building it's gotta be shitty. You gotta have test dummies. What if they're just fat? What if they got a big head? That hole's gotta be big enough, but you can't make it too big to where they can slide out of it.
He's just outside his yard being like a carpenter, building something. Like, what are you making? He's like, I think I'm making a catapult and just shoot into the city next year. Like, all right, Jesus Christ.
That would be crazy. You're running around killing things with like some medieval catapult. Just fucking.
So many opportunities, Purge. Let's go.
Hey, see what I mean? They dropped the ball.
Absolutely.
They're just dropping the ball. And so what do they focus? They focus on race this time.
Yeah.
I don't go in for a movie for politics. I go in for murder. My wife's father asked us, you guys went and saw that? You guys like that shit? It's just a bunch of people getting murdered and murdering people. I'm like, I know. It's great, right?
I say it every time I watch a slasher movie. The last Halloween one I watched, I was laughing most of the movie. And a lot of people in the audience, I guess, weren't. But I identify as the killer. How do you not root for Jason or Michael Myers in those movies? I just think he's clearly the hero. He's the title of the movie. He's the one that's going to be there next year.
You need less people on this earth.
Yeah. Yeah. You think there's not enough people?
There was some kills in the new one. There was some kills in the new one that had the people going, oh. And I laughed. Like out of excitement, I guess. It made me feel like a serial killer.
Right? Yeah, it's not good. When you're the only person out of a group of people that laughs, it's usually an indicator of something. There we go. Wait.
Yeah.
You good?
Why root for him? Oh. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. You froze for a second. You're right.
Bad?
You're tip top, man. You're so good.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, we talked about our worst and ones that we didn't care for. Let's get into some of the best. I have a slash.
So, I did put Sweeney Todd.
That's funny.
Thank you. As long as we're your favorite something, Austin.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Studio dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, my best. I did have Sweeney Todd as a slash because this movie, no matter how many times I've watched it, it's still very good to me. Well, it's about a guy who slits people's throats and then his woman bakes them into a pie. What's not to love?
Also, the weird part, kind of, to me, is like he's got a purpose for a lot of the people he kills. Not all of them, though. But she's just a baker, right? So she's not supposed to be crazy and deranged, but she super is because she's making people pot pies. Like,
literally, she's making people pot pies and giving them to people.
Yeah, like, I mean, so in that movie, I would definitely say there's two psychopaths, serial killers. Like, she's like, well, no, all I do is make people into pies. I go, that might be worse. That might be worse. I think it is
They're
worse.
dead though. Like you don't want that meat to go to waste.
What meat?
You don't waste food.
Whoa.
Just ask. What is his name? Arnie Hammer.
Isn't that what they're trying to say? Like he's a cannibal and shit, like trying to drink
Yeah,
blood.
they came out. I don't know. And a girlfriend said, like, dude, the dude's like fucking crazy, and he talks about eating people. And then like his ex came out, was like, oh yeah, everything she said is true. Like, yeah, I've heard voicemails.
I want to
He
know.
like would like suck the blood off of the cuts and stuff.
I want to know what he did for Hollywood to turn against him. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, I wonder if didn't take a role or
no,
wanted
it
more
was because he
money.
took a role. It was Lone Ranger.
Oh yeah, so let's get into a little bit of our best here. I want to talk about Zodiac real quick because Zodiac to me is a very great movie, very very good. Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal,
Love me some George.
all great, very good actors in this, and
Green when he comes on.
it might be one of my favorites because I didn't know too much about the Zodiac killer, so I had to research it after I watched this movie. But very cool, very creepy, and it's a true story. They never caught him, right? So that's a neat ending for a serial killer movie. You never really see that. I'd like to see
find out that that's based on real stories, and they never caught him in real life.
Right. Then you're like, what? What do you mean he's still out there? What the
wait a minute. But why?
Yeah. You're like, so how did this end? You're like, he's still out there. Why didn't you catch him? He stopped killing people? Okay, I guess that's good. I guess.
So would you choose this one over 7?
7 was a high up on my list. I have this one as better because I liked the performances more. The story was fun in 7 though. The story was really good.
I
But
would choose 7. I really like Zodiac.
you have 7 as overrated. What do you mean?
Well, I told you I panicked because I had
Oh.
little things. And I was like, I'll come up with a new one. Sometimes my handwriting is a little shitty.
Yeah, I have Zodiac as a slash. I would say I like it more than 7, but I also haven't seen it as much as I've seen 7. I've probably seen 7 like 20 times.
I've seen them both equal 2 times.
Oh. Yeah, but what is one of your bests that you have on there?
So my other
best
with Sweeney Todd, yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's such a good one.
Because it's all about Anthony Hopkins in this movie. And I don't hate the sequels either. I don't hate Hannibal. I don't hate Red Dragon.
Yeah.
But good. This movie was so good. They got a TV series.
Yeah.
The prequel sucked. It was all right. And I didn't love the TV series. I know you like the TV series.
Yeah, I thought it was just so smart. Like the way they did him, and they had like Eddie Izzard played another serial killer, and shoot, I can't remember the name of the guy Will Graham, that guy that plays him, and he's kind of like, I don't know if he's supposed to have like Asperger's or something, but the way he finds out who the killer is, just a good series. But that being said, I didn't finish it. I mean, I probably watched maybe one season and then quit halfway through the second one, so I don't know how great it was.
Silence of the Lambs to me is number 1 serial killer movie, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic, not only serial killers, but movies. I was playing a game where you had to act out a movie, and all I did was, and they instantly got it.
Yeah.
All I had to do, because he does it so great.
It's the same. He did exactly the same.
Exactly the same. I could have been Hannibal. I'm still auditioning.
Sure.
I'm hoping they find my police report soon. Police record.
I'm auditioning in real life.
He's eating people. It's between me and Army right now.
I was gonna say. How come it's cool when he does it?
I think he's got an unfair advantage. He's more in the public eye.
Yeah. I like that his ex was like, oh yeah, no, he eats parts of people.
Or like he talks about it a lot. Like he left her voicemail once. I don't know. Like saying, I want to eat you.
What are you, Wendigo?
Weird. Yeah, he's weird. That's the thing. And then he's got like, I don't know, sexual harassment charges pressed against him now.
We can do it.
But that wasn't planted by me. I'm going.
Yeah, get that roll. I eat people.
He eats people. That's not that what he sexually harasses them. Jesus Christ.
Whoa, I thought he was just a cannibal. I'm not watching his movies anymore. So I had that as my best, which was Zodiac. I really liked it. I think it was just a cool movie. But I have one that I had as an underrated, but I think I'll just switch it over to best just because you called me out on my Zodiac. But this is one that not many people have seen, and it's called I Am Not a Serial Killer.
I have seen this one once. I thought it was a decent movie.
With Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Weird subject matter. Like, I think the reason I liked it is it's kind of like Predator, where it's just got like 3 good storylines happening at the same time. This kid like realizes he's a psychopath, so he's trying to like curb his anger and not hurt anyone. And while he's doing that, he finds Christopher Lloyd, who does something crazy out in the ice. I won't tell you, but then the whole movie changes from this kid trying not to be a monster to seeing a real monster and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. You won't guess it, so I won't say it because it's kind of a weird twist. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best, but I would say it's worth a watch.
Okay, there's another one. How to Be a Serial Killer?
I don't know.
Well, that's what it's called. I wasn't asking you.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't remember the dude, like Michael Gubler or something like that. He's from Criminal Minds. He plays Dr. Reed for the Criminal Minds fans out there.
Is he the guy that talks fast? They're kind of
the super nerdy guy.
Yeah.
The best part of the show to me.
Yeah.
He's in it. It's a weird concept, but yeah, it's exactly the guy trained to become a serial killer.
There's a couple ones that you kind of follow every once in a while. I think Owen Wilson had one where he played 24-hour photo with Robin Williams, where 1 hour photo,
yeah,
where they're good movies. Definitely honorable mentions, and all the biopics. Zac Efron just had one where he was Dahmer, and
my neat friend or something like that.
It was a neat idea. You mean the Dahmer one?
Yeah.
It was a neat idea because essentially it never shows him doing any violence. It's like from the girlfriend's perspective, and all this evidence keeps coming up to him, and she's defending him. And at the end, she finally realizes, oh, he did do this because like he asked her to lie for him. He's like, oh my God. And she goes, I just need to know how you took her head off. I just have to know. I can't sleep. And he writes on the glass, hacksaw.
Jim Duggan.
No. Oh. Yeah, but
I remember Netflix released a few years ago about one of the famous serial killers, just like a 3-part series, and that shit blew up. I can't remember who it was about though.
I don't know. Might have been Dahmer. Dahmer's pretty famous for it.
Could have been him.
He was an eccentric guy. Like Helter Skelter, that movie with Charles Manson, which they say was really good. I mean, any of the real stuff is always better. Just watch a documentary about the real stuff. These guys were like, they were monsters.
They are. My kind of.
No. What about Unabomber that had Sam Worthington and Paul Bettany in it?
Yeah, I'm not a big Sam Worthington fan.
Well, you don't know what's good. Okay, he was in Terminator.
Yeah, I do, and it's not him.
Okay, well, hope you like Avatar 3 and 5.
I won't because they'll never be released at this rate.
That's true. They're taking all the time in the world.
One other one I was going to mention was Monster with Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
I watched that movie the first time when we did our Charlize Theron episode. I thought it was a good movie. It didn't belong anywhere on my list, though.
Yeah, that's about right.
And then one that was huge when I was a kid. Disturbia.
Oh, yeah.
With Shia LaBeouf. The woman beater and dog killer.
Oh, this guy next to us is fucking killing people.
I was going to say, it's his neighbor, right? Yeah?
Yeah, it's based off of the old Alfred Hitchcock one.
Him and a super hot girlfriend, because at the time, Shia LaBeouf was doing that.
Killing it.
killing it. He was killing it, and then he went to dogs. Yeah, it was a good movie, and I remember everybody fucking loving this movie when it came out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we want to go all the way there too, I'll tell you one that was almost too brutal for me to kind of get into, which was not the first Psycho, which was awesome by Hitchcock, but American Psycho with Christian Bale. I almost forgot about this one, but that one, like, he truly is, I mean, like, sinister. Like, I can't remember. I think he's like, there's a scene with him in bed with like two hookers, and one of the girls comes up like for air underneath the blanket, and she just looks over, and he's like stabbing her while he's with her, and there's just blood pulling out of the bed, and she screams and runs. And he chases her down the stairs with an axe. But at the end, you don't know if he did it or not. They kind of left it up in the air. They're like, did he imagine all this? Which was kind of weird. Like, I can't remember. I was just like, wow, are they really like giving him an out where they think he's just having daydreams?
They made a second one with Mila Kunis.
Never saw that one.
Really good. But my favorite scene from American Psycho, and the reason I did debate on putting this as one of my best, is him and Jared Leto talking about Hootie and the Blowfish.
No. Not Hootie the Blowfish. What was it called? Huey Lewis in the News.
Oh, that's right. Huey Lewis. That's because he's like, what do you think of Huey Lewis? Those are a little scene from me. The early stuff, though.
Have you heard about this? He's like walking by. Really great stuff. And he's like putting on a poncho.
Yeah, get that plastic poncho so he doesn't get the blood. He's like, just listen to this. I've brought this up a few times now this month. Ice Nine Kills just released a CD, and they did the song about American Psycho. All their songs on this CD are about horror movies. Same with their last CD. They even did one about the Army of Darkness, which I fucking love.
Nice.
They did this with the killer of Ice Nine Kills and the singer of Ice Nine Kills and the singer of Papa Roach, Jacoby.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic because the guy goes, "Hey, what do you think of Ice Nine Kills? I think they're all right. I think they're a little scene too. Hey, boy!" And he just kills, and I'm like, I fucking love this. I absolutely love it.
There's well, I'll check it out. Actually, it's a good time of year. Ice Nine Kills.
Ice Nine Kills.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out.
They did a Pet Cemetery video too. When you watch the videos, it makes the song better because they spend time on their videos. It is heavier music though, but you know they're like low-level horror movies, little skits you find like on Crypt TV or whatever.
I wanted to say there's a scene that I think a lot of people can relate to where he's at the club and he walks up to the girl and he's just like, 2 Jack and Cokes. And she goes, that card won't work here. You need another card. And he just looks at her for a second, pulls another card and gives it to her, and she turns his back. He goes, you're a fucking bitch, you know that? I can't wait to kill you, and then I'm going to play with your blood. She's like, what? He's like, oh, okay. And then leaves. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I may have to watch that movie again. I love that movie. Maybe our next episode, I'm just going to be like, hey, yeah, anyway, so that's going to be my best for last week. I can do that because this is my podcast.
Dude, if for nothing else, just Google YouTube, the business card scene from American Psycho, where they all talk about their business cards. It's so like crazy. He goes like, it's off eggshell white. And you could tell because I got the 9-print font. And they show the card, and everyone's card looks exactly the same. And then Jared Leto pulls out his card, looks exactly the same, but everybody loves his card. And his face goes, his monster shows. He goes, I gotta go. And he just leaves. And you're like, he's gonna kill this dude over a goddamn business card.
Rightfully so. Fuck you, Jared Leto.
I got eggshell white with a 3-point font, Times New Roman. You're like, okay. And you're like, why are they doing this? And you're like, oh, I get it. They're showing you how crazy this guy is.
Yeah, and it works. You believe it. Christian Bale to me is becoming one of my favorite actors. After Ford vs. Ferrari, he's in a lot of movies I like. Granted, he's not spectacular in The Dark Knight, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I think he's fine. People harsh him because of his voice.
Yeah.
But wasn't it be the new Thor movie?
What?
He's gonna be in the new Thor movie.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yep.
Which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I'm excited for anything Marvel, so I'm easy to please.
Easy to please.
Obviously, I do this
podcast. Any other honorable mentions that you could think of that you wanted to throw out there? I was trying to think because there's so many in this genre.
No, off the top of my head.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, I bet there's 1,000. That we're forgetting.
A lot. I did Google it, and there was a fuck ton that I haven't even seen.
That being said, if we forgot one that you guys are like, how did you forget this? This is my favorite one. I mean,
Danny's fault. It was Danny's fault.
No, please message it to us. Put it in the comments below. It super helps us, and plus you'll be like, oh yeah, and we'll talk about it next week maybe if there gets enough heat on there. We see it.
Maybe. Oh, I doubt it because deep down we don't care.
Oh, we care, Brandon. We care. But thank you guys so much for sticking around with us. We appreciate you. A serial killer episode, and I think that we killed it serialously.
Yeah, great episode again. I expect nothing less at this point in our careers.
Whoa. Now I feel bad because it's weird. But I was going to say, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Definitely some awesome shows. If there's one I want to recommend to you guys, if you're on a kick, I would say for me, the one I would say to definitely watch is I Saw the Devil. Check that one out. Give it a whirl. And let me know what you think, if it was a good recommendation for you or not.
And I would recommend Hush. Again, for the 80th week in a row.
Dude, we got to start getting some residuals.
That's right. Stay alive, cheese bags.